As someone with sensitive guts, I look at foods and I immediately start calculating, like, what's this going to do to my inside? But I'm also often very drawn to those exact same foods.
Well, that's a problem for a lot of people.
And here's something I didn't know until recently. A lot of foods that cause digestive issues contain compounds called FODMAPs, and that's where Fodzyme comes in.
Fodzyme is a tasteless powder you sprinkle right into your food, and it helps break down FODMAPs, the hard-to-digest components in food that can cause bloating, gas, and pain before they cause discomfort.
And I was making a salad the other day, and it was like half raw cabbage. So what did I do? Sprinkled a little Fodzyme on there.
It makes digestion easier, so you can eat more of what you love. Think of it like Lactaid, but for garlic and onions and wheat, beans, cheese, other common foods with FODMAPs.
Every customer gets access to a free consultation with a registered dietitian who can help you figure out how to use Fodzyme with your specific trigger foods.
We're excited to partner with Fodzyme and offer you 30% off your first order when you go to icaneatagain.com/oddities.
That's icaneatagain.com/oddities for 30% off your first order.
Finally, you can enjoy your favorite foods without the pain. Just go to icaneatagain.com/oddities.
Study and play come together on a Windows 11 PC. And for a limited time, college students get the best of both worlds. Get the Unreal College Deal. Everything you need to study and play with select Windows 11 PCs. Eligible students get a year of Microsoft 365 Premium and a year of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate with a custom color Xbox wireless controller. Learn more at windows.com/student offer. While supplies last. Ends June 30th. Terms at aka.ms/collegepc.
What follows may not be suitable for all audiences. Listener discretion is advised.
The world is full of stories. Stories of mysteries, of curiosities, of oddities. Join Kat and Jethro Gilligan Toth for the strange, the bizarre, the unexpected, as they lift the lid and cautiously peer inside the Box of Oddities.
So remind me next time we go shopping, I have to get some WD-40 for the pantry door hinges.
Oh?
Yeah. They're too squeaky and makes it hard for me to stealth snack in the middle of the night.
Well, it was your stealth snacking efforts that led to the freezer door being left open
because
all night.
I was trying to quietly close it, and
Yeah.
I didn't, I think, latched. And so, yeah, all the ice cream melted.
Luckily, we don't have much in there anyway.
That's true.
It is time to go big grocery shopping.
I ended up eating an entire bag of Smart Food popcorn, and we were talking about this the other day about how when you open a bag of popcorn, all the best kernels are on the top, and you eat through those, and then halfway through things start to change,
Yeah.
and it's by the time you get to the bottom of the bag, it's just like stuff you see on the bottom of a hamster cage.
It is. It's sad. But it's science. You know, the little stuff is going to make its way down. That's why before you start, you got to flip the bag upside down and give it a good shake.
Yeah, you know what? That's smart. I've never really thought about
It's
that.
smart food is what it is.
I'm going to add that to my snacking strategy arsenal.
Your popcorn protocol. Well, at least our Beyond Steaks didn't thaw. Everything else can go. But those...
Yeah, you can't get them in stores around here. We have to special order them. They're pretty good.
They're really good. And it's so nice to have something to put A1 sauce on other than tater tots.
And by the way, this episode is not sponsored by Smart Food Popcorn.
Or Beyond Steaks.
Yeah, just stuff that we love.
Welcome to Snack Talk with JG and Kat.
Mm-hmm. Let's move on to today's topic, shall we?
Please do.
One of the witnesses thought it looked like a giant snake.
Oh.
And the other thought it looked like a turtle. And one person compared its head to a horse.
Okay, those are three very different things.
Yeah, it's not a great start to trying to identify an animal. And I'm talking about the Gloucester sea serpent. It was the summer of 1817, and it was unusually warm along the Massachusetts coast. And Gloucester Harbor was busy with fishing vessels, merchant ships, and, people just kind of hanging out on the seashore trying to stay cool. Routine activity that you would expect in a New England town.
With their Dunkin', I would assume.
Well, yeah, it is New England.
This episode not sponsored by Dunkin'.
Then, sometime in August, reports began circulating about a large creature moving through the water near Cape Ann. At first, the descriptions were fairly simple. Witnesses spoke about an animal of unusual size. But as more people came forward, the details became increasingly specific and increasingly strange. And this became all the community could talk about for the rest of the summer, and understandably so. Large groups of people would gather on the shore, watching, maybe hoping to catch a glimpse of whatever the hell this is. And hundreds of them at a time would do this. Many of the witnesses were people whose observations did carry some weight in the community. And among them was Captain Joseph Stacy, an experienced mariner, and he reported observing this creature for an extended period through a spyglass. I want a spyglass.
I think you should have one.
Pick one up with a WD-40. Another frequently cited witness was Amos Story. He was a respected fisherman, of course, because he had a name like Amos Story. That's a perfect fisherman's name for the 19th century. His account would become one of the best-known descriptions of the animal.
I've never heard of this. And there's a statue. We should go see it.
The Linnean Society eventually collected testimony from ship captains and merchants and local residents whose livelihoods depended on accurately reading the ocean. And none of that proves that they saw a sea serpent, of course. Experienced observers can be mistaken, just like anybody else, but it does make the story a little harder to dismiss on simply gullible spectators.
Yeah, well, that makes sense. You're going to trust a hairdresser to tell you if they saw a bob or a mullet.
Right, exactly. It's a great analogy.
Thank you, sweetheart.
I love your mullet analogies.
Thank you.
Many of the people describing the creature, they were accustomed to identifying whales or sharks or even seals, marine animals in general. And that was one of the reasons why their testimony intrigues historians. One of the earliest and most frequently repeated descriptions involves the creature's shape. People didn't describe it as a single body stretched out across the surface. Instead, they often reported seeing a series of humps in the water, kind of like Nessie, I guess. That appears again and again and again. A witness would see one section emerge from the water, then another, and then another behind it. And the effect was a long animal moving beneath the surface with only portions of the body visible at any given moment. Several people compared the appearance to a string of barrels connected together and floating in the water. And that's the one that really kind of, tortures my mind a little bit because it's such a strange image. It's like they weren't trying to scare us. They were just trying to describe what they saw. Some estimates placed the creature at about 60 feet long. Others stretched beyond 100 feet. One account described the creature moving with a smooth, undulating motion as though its body was traveling through the water in waves. Another observer focused on the neck, and that's one of the strangest recurring details. Several witnesses claimed the head rose noticeably above the water, supported by a neck that seemed unusually long. Again, kind of like Nessie.
This actually reminds me a lot of a souvenir that I bought when I was in Scotland.
Oh?
It was a 4-piece ceramic Nessie.
Oh, yeah.
And so it was one piece was the head, and then there were 2 smaller pieces that were humps, and then there was a little piece that was a tail. And you could arrange them so he was bigger or smaller, whatever. And I have no idea where that went. I don't remember getting rid of it at any point. I don't know why I would have, but I haven't seen it in many, many years. And I hadn't thought about it for a really long time until you started talking about this with the humps.
That would be so cool to have for our collection.
Oh my gosh, I miss that. I feel a yearning for it.
There was an estimate that suggested the head extended several feet into the air while the animal swam. And the head itself became a source of disagreement because some people said it looked reptilian, others didn't. One witness thought the head resembled a turtle. Another reported something more snake-like.
And then you said someone said a horse.
Yes, vaguely horse-like.
Oof.
And that last description always fascinated me. A horse is a very specific comparison. It's easy to dismiss the old sea serpent reports. Oh, it looked like a giant snake, because that's what you expect people to say. But in this case, they were just reaching for the closest comparison that was available.
Right.
They weren't trying to convince anybody. They were, again, just trying to, as accurately as they could, describe what they saw.
Right. They weren't saying it's probably a horse.
Right.
They were saying, I don't know, but the head kind of looked like a horse.
Exactly. And perhaps the most vivid account came from people who observed this creature through a spyglass. One witness reported seeing what appeared to be seaweed or marine vegetation hanging over portions of its body. And that again is interesting because that observer was not focused on proving a monster existed. He was just noticing things like seaweed and details.
Again, not trying to convince anyone of anything.
Yeah.
Just saying, hey, this is what I saw.
The witnesses often seemed less interested in telling an exciting story than in accurately describing what they were seeing. One of the most discussed sightings involved a vessel that attempted to approach the creature. As the boat drew closer, the animal departed, altered its course, and moved away with surprising speed. And that's another common recurring feature.
She's zippy?
She's zippy. Witnesses would describe the creature as moving far faster than they expected. Several witnesses suggest it covered large distances in remarkable short periods of time. Again and again, observers came away with the impression that whatever they were seeing was not lumbering through the harbor. It was moving with purpose. Oh yeah, Kat just found her serpentine sea monster figurine on, what is that, eBay?
Etsy,
yeah. So here's what we know from the reports. The creature rarely stayed visible for long. Witnesses would see portions of it, a head, a curved back, series of humps. Then it would disappear beneath the surface, and a few minutes later, it might appear much, much farther away. And that pattern made it very difficult to study. And it wasn't just isolated observations. Multiple people, in fact, dozens at a time, would see it at the same time. Of course, there was no photography in 1817. So what exactly had people been seeing? More than 2 centuries later, we really don't know. They were seeing something. Whales have been proposed. I mean, that's a big whaling area. Porpoises moving in sequence have been proposed, and I love that idea. Not that it explains this mystery, just the idea of porpoises moving in sequence. So soothing. Some suggested basking sharks. Some giant eels, although I don't think eels get to be 60 to 100 feet long. If they are, I'm never going near a body of water again.
Maybe they were eels in sequence.
It could have been optical illusions, of course. Each explanation does solve part of the mystery, but it doesn't solve all of it. This was a creature that seemed too long, too fast, and too unusual for the people watching it. And again, these people were familiar with marine animals. Many of them were fishermen or whalers. And whether those witnesses saw one animal, several animals, or nothing extraordinary is still open to debate. And what does remain is that image and the reports. For a few weeks in 1817, people stood along the Massachusetts coast, watching something move through the Atlantic and trying to find the right words for it. 200 years later, we're still trying. Oh, you found a bronze sculpture.
Yeah, it's at the Cape Ann Museum.
They call it Cassie.
Road trip.
My information came from the report of the Committee of the Linnean Society and the Massachusetts Historical Archives, featuring several contemporary newspaper accounts from Gloucester and Boston.
I am really surprised I haven't heard of this.
She's beautiful.
When I was in middle school, I wanted to fit in with the cool kids. And one day they were making fun of this girl because she was wearing stirrup pants. And I got in on it. And I was like, stirrup pants. We ended up becoming friends. It wasn't a big deal. But I still think about that, especially when I'm trying to sleep. It's like 2 a.m. And I'm like, remember that time you were mean in 7th grade?
I do that all the time. those thoughts can spiral out of control and cause insomnia. And as a person that suffers from that, I'm loving the products that we get from Tanasi. Calm, relax, easing of your anxiety, relief. It soothes and relieves aches and pains. You'll get rest, better sleep. And all Tanasi products are THC free and contain a patented CBD plus CBDA formula. Makes it 2 times better than CBD alone and better than over-the-counter drugs like acetaminophen when it comes to supporting your body's response to inflammation.
Their soft gels are especially popular because they're an easy addition to your daily routine, and their gummies are a great option if you're new to CBD.
They have tinctures, too. Satisfaction guaranteed. Give Tanasi products a try, and if you don't love them, you'll receive a full refund.
Go to Tanasi.com and use promo code ODDITIES to get 25% off at checkout.
That's TANASI.com to get 25% off your first order with promo code ODDITIES. Hey, we got this email. Kat and Jethro, just a quick thank you. I heard you mention quince on your show a while back and decided to order a few things for my mom for Mother's Day.
Aww.
She absolutely loved them and has already asked me where I found the brand. So thanks for accidentally making me look much more of a thoughtful daughter than I probably am. And yeah, we love quince. I'm wearing my quince shorts right now.
And making our way into summer, those shorts are going to be an essential for you.
Quince has beautiful everyday pieces like 100% European linen pants, dresses, and tops with styles starting at $32.
And the really important thing for us is Quince works directly with ethical factories, so you're paying for quality, not for a brand name.
And everything at Quince is priced 50 to 80% less than similar products.
I have a set of Quince linen pillowcases on my bed right now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it makes me feel like such a fancy lady.
It's time for a new summer wardrobe. Elevate your wardrobe. Go to quince.com/oddities for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns.
Now available in Canada, too.
Woo.
That's QUINCE.com/oddities for free shipping and 365-day returns.
Quince.com/oddities.
And now, that thing in the middle.
Little in this world delights me more than an aptronym.
And explain what that is?
That is when a person's name aligns well with who they are or what they do for a profession.
Okay, so aptly fitting.
And I thought it would be fun to take a look at a few examples of some amazing aptronyms.
Number 5, a guy named Jules Angst. He was a Swiss professor of psychiatry who published works on anxiety.
Sarah Blizzard, a meteorologist and television weather personality on the BBC.
Christopher Koch and his father Lester Koch, Jamaican drug lords and cocaine traffickers.
Usain Bolt, the Jamaican sprinter. I mean,
Yeah.
That's a pretty good example.
It's a great name. And Creflo Dollar. He's an American millionaire and megachurch pastor.
Honorable mention goes to Russell Brain, the neurologist.
So here's something interesting. That thing in the middle you just heard was actually... Oops! Pizza's here! Finish this liner by yourself. I'm a hungry curator. This is the Box of Oddities.
New York City has an estimated population of 8.5 to 8.8 million residents within its 5 boroughs. And it operates roughly 250,000 streetlights.
Wow.
They spend about $50 to $60 million annually, both for the electricity and system maintenance, which is just such a huge number and something that you would just so easily overlook when it comes to how a big city works. 250,000 streetlights.
That's a lot.
Now, in Nebraska, near the South Dakota border, is a town called Monowi, and I don't know how many streetlights it has, but I do know that a resident of the town pays for their electricity and their maintenance.
They have no town budget for it. Is this a case where somebody just took it upon themselves to fix? Okay.
That's exactly right. Elsie Eiler. Elsie Eiler took it upon herself to pay for the electricity and the upkeep of every streetlight in Monowi.
I'm guessing they don't have 250,000 of them.
Probably not. Let's talk about the town a little bit. This town was founded in 1902 when the Fremont, Elkhorn, and the Missouri Valley Railroad... That's like the third time I've said...
Railroad.
When the Fremont, Elkhorn, and Missouri Valley Railroad...
Don't you mean railroad?
...extended into the area. Monowi grew around agriculture and rail transportation, and by the 1930s, the population had reached about 150 residents. Over the decades, however, population steadily declined. Improved farming technology reduced the need for labor, rail traffic decreased, and like many rural communities in the Great Plains, it suffered a mass exodus as younger generations moved to cities for better jobs and industrial farming, and that pretty much decimated the local farming community.
It's an all too common tale. And of course, in the 30s, you were dealing with Dust Bowl conditions as well.
Mm-hmm. The local farming economy suffered. The town's wooden church held its last funeral in 1960. The post office and grocery stores closed their doors between 1967 and 1970.
Oh, wow.
The local school was shut down in 1974. And by 1980, the population had dwindled to 18 people. Now, by the 2000 census, only 2 people remained in Monowi.
26 years ago.
Elsie Eiler and her husband, Rudy. Sadly, Rudy died in 2004. So Elsie became the town's sole resident. Now, what makes Monowi particularly unusual is that it remains an incorporated municipality.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that. Why didn't they just revert it back to a territory or whatever they call it?
Well, like you said, most communities that shrink to such a small size eventually dissolve their local governments. But Monowi continues to operate as an official village. And it's largely due to Elsie. Monowi continues to hold elections. And because Elsie's the only resident, she's the only eligible voter, and she receives 100% of the vote.
She's the only candidate as well. Wow.
The town's most active business is Rudy's Tavern. So when Rudy passed away in 2004, Monowi lost half its population, and that forced Elsie to take on more responsibility. Tavern owner. The tavern actually is pretty hoppin'. It serves local farmers and ranchers and hunters and travelers, but mostly tourists who want to visit the smallest town in the States.
Well, I do, after hearing this.
I know. The daytime population is much larger than the official census count. Another notable feature of Monowi is Rudy's library. Rudy Eiler was an avid reader who accumulated a personal collection of approximately 5,000 books. After his death...
Tomorrow morning is knocking. Stock your fridge now. How about a creamy mocha frappuccino drink? Or a sweet vanilla? Smooth caramel, maybe? Or a white chocolate mocha? Whichever you choose, delicious coffee awaits. Find Starbucks Frappuccino drinks wherever you buy your groceries.
This Father's Day, do more with Dad and spend less with low prices guaranteed at the Home Depot. Get him fired up with a new grill and accessories, like the Next Grill 5-burner for just $299, so you can spend more time together while he becomes the grill master he was always meant to be. Or build memories with savings on top brand power tools so you can tackle projects side by side. Gift more and do more together this Father's Day with help from the Home Depot. Exclusions apply. See homedepot.com/price match for details.
Elsie opened a public library to house that collection.
That's beautiful.
The library remains open to visitors and serves as one of the village's few public buildings. Now, the town only occupies about 2/10 of a square mile. And in addition to the tavern and the library and Elsie's home, there are a handful of structures and empty lots where homes and businesses once stood. But Monowi has attracted significant media attention over the years and has been featured in documentaries and newspaper articles, travel programs, and books. While its population of 1 is what draws attention, the town has also become a symbol of rural depopulation across the Great Plains and the broader challenges faced by small agricultural communities throughout the 20th century. But it is remarkable that Monowi has continued its existence as an incorporated village. And that depends entirely on one person. Through her efforts, the town remains legally recognized. Its records are maintained, its tavern stays open, and its story continues to be told.
I cannot imagine how busy Elsie must be.
For real. In addition to being the town's mayor, the librarian, the tavern operator, she's also the town clerk, the town secretary, the town treasurer, the tax collector, which means she can approve her own liquor license, by the way. And it also means that when she turned 91 in October of 2024, the governor made her an admiral in Nebraska's Navy.
Wow, I didn't know Nebraska had a Navy.
The joke being that it's a landlocked state where she has tadpoles and goldfish under her command.
That's beautiful.
Elsie has put in a lot of work to make sure that this town continues to be. And she's now 92 years old, so we wonder what will happen when Elsie is no longer the town mayor and tax collector and tavern operator. But for now, we don't have to worry about it because Elsie is on it. And you know, if they say that doing some crossword puzzles helps keep your brain young, imagine how young Elsie is inside that noggin of hers.
Yeah, I mean, she has to collect the taxes, she has to pay the taxes, she has to run for office, she has to vote for herself, and she has to make sure that all of the beer kegs are there.
And don't forget, she pays for all of the electricity for the street lamps herself.
My gosh.
I love her.
That is one beautiful freak.
And it reminds me so much of like that Midwest grit. You know, that we're getting on this wagon and we're going to see what's out there and we're going to start a homestead with what we've got in this, you know, oxen wagon thing. And it's just amazing to me. She's just, I don't know. I like her a lot.
In New England, we call that Yankee ingenuity.
We do.
Or Puritan work ethic. God bless Elsie.
It seems like every episode, my bucket list lengthens. I got my information from Guinness World Records, from Explorer.com, and from the Library of Congress.
I would like to thank those of you who have taken the time to leave a positive review and subscribe and share this podcast with your friends. It really helps us a lot. It's just one way that you guys can support us, and we do appreciate it. TheBoxOfOddities.com. We'll see you next time.
Until then, keep flying that freak flag.
Fly it proudly, you beautiful freak.
And so, let it be known that the Box of Oddities belongs to you, and its fate is in your hands. Therefore, it's been requested by those to whom I report to beseech you for assistance. We ask but one thing of you, to provide a 5-star rating and a positive review. True, that is 2 things. However, 'tis merely a 5-star rating and a positive review. Also, subscribe to us. Okay, so 3 things is all we ask. 3 things and 3 things only. Henceforth, the Box of Oddities commits to the telling of stories. Stories of the strange, the bizarre, the unexpected. We wish to offer our deeply felt gratitude and appreciation for your patronage. TheBoxOfOddities.com. Copyright 2026, all rights reserved.
This Father's Day, when you ship UPS Air at the UPS store, your items arrive on time or your money back, guaranteed at no extra cost. It's like the father of all shipping services. It shows up to the airport way too early, just to play it safe. It's overprotective about all the things that truly matter. And it's always prompt, especially to be with family. Make it your first choice to celebrate your dad. Ship UPS Air with our money-back guarantee, exclusively at the UPS Store U.S. retail locations. Visit the upsstore.com/air shipping for full details. Terms and conditions apply.
There's a new way to sweet green. Meet Wraps. Handheld, hearty, and made for life on the move. With bold, chef-crafted flavors, fresh ingredients, and over 40 grams of protein, they're built to satisfy without slowing you down. Try Wraps today in the app or at order.sweetgreen.com. Available at all participating locations.